I'd like to call this meeting of the Festus City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer.
Here.
Councilman Collier.
Here.
Councilman Benz.
Here.
Councilman Cook. Councilwoman Templeton.
Here.
Councilman Weiner.
Here.
Councilman Tenen. Councilman Dennis.
We do have a quorum. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
There's Mr. Cook.
Yeah, he's here.
Cook, are you here?
I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Tonight's bills total $1,145,456.21.
So moved. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilman Benz.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Motion passes. Remarks of visitors. Tonight, Mr. Jason Licavoli, is that correct? Step up to the...
Hello. Is that good? My name is Jason Licavoli. I just recently purchased the property at 215 Cave Drive, which is Cave Land. And I just wanted a chance to come introduce myself to you guys. I received a letter from Mr. Malone with the cease and desist. And so I apologize for any inconvenience I've given you guys. And I just, again, want to introduce myself and I don't even know what to ask. I really love this property and I own some other short-term rentals in St. Louis. And so that was my goal with the property. So, again, I just want to introduce myself to you guys. And if there's a point of contact besides Mr. Malone, I've been looking at some of the conditional use and rezoning options online and asking some friends to see what they advise. So I don't know what the feasibility of the property is. But again, I just apologize for any inconvenience I may have caused you guys. And I would like to open up myself to whomever I need to speak with about my goals and my intentions. So I don't know if I don't want to take too much time. I just want to, again.
Well, sir, you have about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So if you want to explain to us what your your future is or what you see with the property, but the main person you need to contact is Mark Harris.
Okay.
Who is our building commissioner.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Hello there. And I just want to make sure I'm clear. So I just purchased the property February 28th. So before then I was not the owner of the property. So I could not ask, in my opinion, I couldn't ask for permission to do anything. So I am here now. And again, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just want to introduce myself to you. And I look forward to hopefully making a great relationship and making this a great place for the city of Festus. So does anybody have any questions for me? I mean, I just wanted to introduce myself to you, and I'll be speaking with Mr. Harris and we'll get this figured out. Yes, sir.
Jason, have you contacted Ted Nugent?
No, I have not. I have not, but I'd tell you the history of the place is really like underestimated what that was. And I started a Facebook group and like just getting all this great feedback from the community. It's just really cool. So again, I just want, I own other property. I'm a good steward of property. I've never gotten in trouble like this. I don't know. So I apologize for anything. I sit on boards and I know that there's a lot of work to do with risk management. So I don't plan on making it a roller skating rink. A lot of people ask me that. That is not my goal. I'm just a real estate guy, so I don't really run businesses. So I don't even know if that's what I want to do there. Maybe I find someone else to do that if that's even feasible. If not, I'd like to at least share the home with other people potentially as a residential home because that's what I'm used to doing. So again, that's and I love this property. I want you to know that. And like I live in St. Louis, 20 minutes away, and I do a lot of stuff in Jefferson County. So I'm not some rebel guy, and I want a good thing for the city of Festus, and I think this really could be. So again, I apologize for getting off on the wrong foot, and I will definitely be in touch with Mr. Harris. And, again, I just apologize to all of you for any inconvenience, because I know this is not the right way to start things. So any other questions for me? Again, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted a chance to introduce myself. So.
That's a home right now, correct? Residential? And one means of egress, right? One way in, one way out. Do not call Ted Nugent then.
Okay. Maybe you could just visit. That's about it, right? Yeah. This is for sure. And again, I really, it's weird because I don't have a plan I don't know what's feasible there, but I think just sharing the home, which is what I do in St. Louis, with other people to stay the night could be a lot of fun and could be great use of the space, and might be easier, I guess, to get the ability to do that here. So again, I just thank you for your time, and I'll be in touch, and I guess we'll start following these channels through.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Moving right along, we're to bids for water, stormwater, on-call contracting services. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. As we've discussed and have kind of started the ball rolling on a number of on-call service providers, we did this for landscaping and on-call tree removal service. We've also done this now for professional engineering services. This is for contracting for water and stormwater, basically excavation and installation work. We did have 3 responses to our RFQ related to this. They were Bommarito Construction, Honorstall Contracting, and Bloomsdale Excavating. Their credentials are attached to your packet for review. At this time, all we're asking for is approval of those 3 firms to be available to city staff for use in water and stormwater on-call contracting services.
Any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the on-call service for these 3 companies.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cook? Councilman Benz?
Yes.
Councilman Tenen? Councilman Dennis? Councilman Weiner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton?
Yes.
Councilman Boyer?
Yes.
And Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Motion passes. Second thing on the agenda is the bids for the restroom kitchen renovations. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. On the 11th of January, we sent out an RFP for firms to furnish labor, materials, tools, equipment, supervision, appropriate insurance, to complete a renovation of the 2 employee restrooms and the break area kitchen here at City Hall. We did allocate $40,000 in this year's budget for the project. We did receive 4 responses from ARC Construction, Brady Construction, and Marshall Contracting. ARC Construction was the low bid at $12,676.
Any discussion?
You're fine with that?
It was a very low bid, but if you'll notice in the packet, the supporting documentation supports the bid price. The contractors, all 3 contractors, provided references as well. The references checked out. Without any red flags other than a very low price, we didn't see any reason to disqualify the bid.
Is it too small of a project to get a bid bond?
Yeah, we're under a certain threshold there, at just $40,000. And we did have some other contractors look at it, and it turned out to be a pretty small project for them. I know, talking with one of the ones that did send in a proposal, because of the scale of the project, they have a larger one they're working on and wouldn't be able to get to this one until August. So yeah, it does present some challenges because of the scale.
It's really a discrepancy between the low bid and the other two normal bids.
Yeah,
Normal.
there is. Yeah.
No red flags, but
I went looking for them.
you couldn't find them.
I mean, and I couldn't find him. I mean, he provided, the contractor with ARC did provide, and again, checking on all three with references, but also the supporting documentation on the unit costs, the specifications they met. He's meeting the spec. So other than the price, it's hard to find. I certainly couldn't find a reason to disqualify the bid.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid of $12,676 by ARC Construction Group LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Benz,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, we have from the street department, Ravel Street Sweeper Brooms.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. This is for 2 pallets of brooms. There are 2 different types of brooms, the gutter brooms and the weed cutter brooms. This is a sole source provider. We buy them from Red Equipment. They're the sole source for the Ravo sweeper. We had $25,000 budgeted. There's $24,530.42 available. The Red Equipment bid is for $7,012 for a year's supply.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid from Red Equipment for $7,012.
So move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Benz,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next, for the fire department, we have turnout gear bid.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. Come before you tonight to request the purchase of 3 sets of turnout gear. You remember back in December, we purchased 5 sets. The fire department's budgeted for this year 5 sets of turnout gear. So this additional 3 will make us up to 8. So we'll have a couple in case we add new employees, whether it be volunteer or part-time later on this year. So my recommendation tonight is to purchase 3 sets of turnout gear in the amount of $14,474.31 from Sentinel Emergency Solutions. It's still under that Sourcewell that we used, and it's the same gear that we've been purchasing for the last couple of years. So it works well, it lasts for us. So that would be my recommendation. We're still under budget. If you look down with this purchase, if you approve it tonight, we'll be at 36,851.96. So we're still under budget for them other two sets if we need them later this year.
Chief, quick question for you. What if you have a surplus of volunteers or even part-time interest and you need more sets? I don't want to be limited on a budget because we're fixed on a budget item.
No, I'm just trying to stay within the budget. If we do have something like that, I would bring the request because we need the safety of the firefighters. So you bring that up, we are going to probably put out a drive for volunteers in part-time. So that may become a issue, but I would submit a bid separate from this and ask for more money from the council.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request for $14,474.31 from Sentinel Emergency Solutions for 3 sets of gear.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
I think I got everybody. Oh,
Councilman-
I'm sorry, Bobby.
Yeah.
Councilman Benz. Because apparently he's not on my list.
Whoops. Whoops.
I'm sorry.
I'm giving you the stink eye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the police department.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Tonight I have 2 bids in front of you. First is vehicle graphics. We striped all of our new cars with the new package that you guys approved a few months back. Ultimately, my goal is to try to change more cars over, but ultimately it was going to be as we bought new cars, we would look at doing the striping at that point in time. I do have a new respect for the Purple Wave auction and the money that we were able to raise from the 3 vehicles the police department has sold. We got about $22,000 in proceeds from the police vehicles we sold. So I spoke with Mr. Camp and asked if we could reappropriate that money to go ahead and stripe the rest of our fleet now. What I did is I just went off I contacted the company that did our last one. He gave us the same pricing. Plus he added in what it'll cost to remove the old stripes off so he can prepare the vehicles for it. So tonight I'm in front of you to ask for an approval of $14,198.80 to go ahead and stripe the other 14 cars in our fleet so they all match.
Put a lot of compliments on this.
I've got a lot of good compliments too. A lot of people, they look pretty sharp. I'm happy with them.
Any other discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the bid of $14,198.80 to Southpaw Graphics for
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Pardon me, Mayor. Yeah.
Just keep going.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Benz.
Yeah.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Motion passes. Go ahead, Chief, with the striping.
Thank you. And also for your consideration tonight, we had budgeted $4,000 for a water fountain for the squad room downstairs. So the officers had someplace they could refill water bottles and their drinks when they're down there doing reports and such. It's in the basement and there's currently no place down there for them to fill a water bottle. A little history behind that. Whenever Jones Plumbing was here doing the new one we put in the lobby last year, they gave us just a preliminary cost from what they glanced at. And that's where we came up with the $4,000 originally. So that's what we budgeted. Whenever they came in January to do the official bids, they were the low bid still, but it was $5,400. Once they figured out they're going to have to do more plumbing than what they thought to tie into a plumbing stack. So at that point in time, I kind of tabled it until we got a little bit further in the budget, because that is $1,400 is somewhat significantly over the $4,000 that we budgeted for. But then with the same, like I spelled out, with the proceeds from our Purple Wave auction, I would like to go ahead and get this project rolling for the guys. So I'd like to go ahead and use $1,400 out of the Purple Wave to facilitate with the money we have put aside in the budget so we can get this project underway. Once again, that'd be Jones Plumbing, the amount of $5,400.
Chief, I appreciate the fiscal responsibility, but I hate to have our employees wait for water when we just spent $25,000 on brooms. So I'm pretty sure for our division managers, my thought is we can squeeze $1,400. Our employees can have water and other things they need.
I appreciate that,
but I'll make that motion now, sir.
Motion's been made. Second. And seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Weiner,
Yes.
Councilman Cook,
Yes.
Councilman Venz,
Yes.
Councilman Collier,
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton. Yes. Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Chief. Ordinances and resolutions. Tonight we have Bill 4764 on the agenda. Would the clerk please read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 4764, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, dissolving the Festus Crystal City sewage, repealing all ordinance in conflict therewith, and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4764 is now open for discussion. Could I have a staff report, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So what this bill will do is essentially dissolve the Festus Crystal City Sewer Commission, since their primary purpose, really their only purpose of administering the sewer plant that's now owned by the Jefferson County Sewer District is no longer necessary. The ordinance provides that it would go into effect on March 31st, 2024, which would be the end of their of the fiscal year for the commission, and it also provides that it only goes into effect upon the enactment of a similar ordinance by the city of Crystal City. And my understanding is they'll be considering a similar ordinance at their upcoming meeting.
All right. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, is there any councilman that would like to have this bill placed on the next agenda for a second reading? Hearing none, do I have a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4764 for the second time in title only? Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4764 for the second time?
Bill number 4764, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, dissolving the Festus Crystal City sewage, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, and establishing an effective date. Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilman Venz.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Bill 4764 has passed. Also on the agenda for tonight is Bill 4765. Would the clerk please read this bill for the first time?
Bill number 4765, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute an amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with Jefferson County 911 Dispatch, incorporating said amendment as a part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date.
Bill 4765 is now open for discussion. May I have a staff report? Excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city has an existing contract with Jefferson County 911 Dispatch to allow the city police department and fire department to use their emergency dispatching system. What this ordinance would do is allow the Public Works Department to use it for interdepartmental communication in the event of an emergency, which is something that Matt Onrein requested. This is going to be considered by Jefferson County 911 Dispatch at their meeting on March 28th.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, is there any councilman that would like this bill carried over to the next session? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4765 for the second time in title only. Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4765 for the second time?
Bill number 4765, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute an amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with Jefferson County 911 Dispatch, incorporating said amendment as part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date. Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Councilman Benz.
Yes.
Bill 4765 has passed. We also have Bill 4766 on the agenda. Would the clerk please read this bill for the first time?
Bill number 4766, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute an agreement with the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for improvements to Mid-Meadow Lane, St. Mary's Lane, West Main Street near Festus Schools, incorporated said agreement as part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date.
Could I have a staff report, please?
Certainly. Thank you, Mayor, City Council. This accepts the money. This is the agreement with MoDOT for the Safe Routes to School grant money to come our way. And then, as I mentioned during the work session, we're working with Hennigan and Associates who put together the grant proposal to start working on the preliminary engineering, which you should have here in the next couple of weeks.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, is there any council person that would like to have this bill placed on the agenda for the second reading on the next agenda? Hearing none, do I have a motion to suspend the rules and read Bill 4766 for the second time in title only?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Madam Clerk, would you please read Bill 4766 for the second time?
Bill number 4766, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Festus, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to enter into and execute an agreement with the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for improvements to Mid-Meadow Lane, St. Mary's Lane, and West Main Street near Festus Schools, incorporating said agreement as part of this ordinance and establishing an effective date. Councilman Collier.
Yes.
Councilman Cook.
Yes.
Councilman Weiner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Templeton.
Yes.
Councilman Boyer.
Yes.
Councilman Benz.
Yes.
Bill 4766 has passed. Moving right along, new business. We have an appointment to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Harris, would you like to speak on this real quick?
Patrick has applied to the Beyond Planning Zoning. He's going to serve as an alternate for the time being until Christine Mudd decides what she's going to do, then possibly go straight on. He's actually the postman that delivers the mail to Public Works and is a super good guy. We're excited to get him.
Good. Well, I will entertain a motion to appoint Patrick Henderson to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Mr. Henderson is on P and Z.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Next thing on new business, we have a festival request for the Viking Festival. Mr. Borman of Four Brothers Mead, step up to the podium, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a new addition, or a substitution to Four Brothers Mead. I replaced one of the brothers, so I said it'd probably be a good idea to come up here and after I spoke with Mr. Camp. So I can't say it's all my idea, but we so twice yearly in April and October we have a small festival there right behind the business at 124 East Main Street. And for this, we typically request the closure of about 200 feet of South 2nd Street east of Bering Street there, so that we could have food trucks and things like that there, and also the free passage of people, because we also use that park back there. Typically we have our vendors back there, and then we'll also have a ring set up for combat, medieval combat. If any of you ever attended the festival before, that's very well received and quite exciting, really. So I just wanted to, again, come up here, introduce myself. I've been a longtime resident of Crystal City and Festus. I live just outside the city limits currently and have for the last 5 years. So if you had any questions for me about the festival itself or about the street closure, I'd be happy to entertain those this time.
I have a business right up the street from where it's held.
Okay.
And it's always a lot of fun, with the kids and seeing everybody made up, and it looks like something from the Middle Ages, that's going on there. So it's a good time. I would encourage, people to come down there and have fun with that.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully it won't snow. Also, council, we did want to add, we were sorting through this, and they also have an application for a temporary liquor license, which would be for an event on the 16th of March, correct? The Shields and Shamrocks event that's being held at Hans Martial Arts Gym. So in addition to the street closure on 420, they're asking for this temporary license because it's not on their site. They do need the temporary license approved by council, but that would be for March 16th for Shields and Shamrocks.
Thank you very much, sir.
Chief, you have any problem with this?
The police department doesn't have any issues with either one of them.
Okay.
We have a couple guys remember what to.
Yeah.
All righty, sir. I'll entertain a motion to approve the Viking Festival request in April and the Shields and Shamrocks on the 16th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. Go ahead and have your two events.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, Council.
You're welcome. Now, are they going to call it Three Brothers Mead now?
No, I just replaced one of the brothers. So
Oh, okay.
There are still 4.
Okay.
I could. I do have a poster for y'all.
Okay.
3.5 brothers.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do we have any old business?
No, sir.
If not, Councilman Boyer.
I'm real happy to see where the city's progress is going with the water main replacement and everything that Greg's been doing to get all the goodies lined out on that. And the wider sidewalks are really looking good. When they're all completed, it's going to be really nice. That's looking awesome. On the side with it being dusty, but we need to keep rocking those cut areas, because try to maintain that as much as possible. It's bad enough with the dust, but when you hit a pothole that you can't see, that's not too good. So if we continue to do that, they got it in right away the other day when I mentioned that to you. They got it in before I even went back through. So that was good. That's about all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, sir. Thank you. Councilman Weiner.
I'm with Mr. Boyer, Councilman Boyer, just so many good things going on in the city, really. The Edgewood project, we're tackling that as best we can, as quickly as we can, and as soon as possible, those people will have a remedy to their water problems over there. So I know that Greg, I know you're working hard on that, so I'd like to thank you for that also. On the streets, there's streets torn up everywhere, and right now it looks a little iffy, but there will be a rainbow, a light at the end of the tunnel with that. And things are going to look nice when they are finally finished. But, that's the price we have to pay for things to get better, I suppose. The park out there at West City or at Christ Park with the walking path, Josh, was great. Been out there, and I didn't have a speeding cyclist or anything. Did have a couple skateboarders on it, but but it wasn't too bad. It's well used out there. And then finally, pickleball courts come along well. I hope that approximately a month they'll be up and running. And one more finally thing over at the library, I'm happy to see that that's just about finished. And I was looking at the numbers on that, and books available are up. Looks like participation's up. It looks like Elizabeth is just doing a really good job over there. So that's all I have, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Councilman Cook.
Thank you. Greg and Josh, just food for thought. If we can kind of keep this on our radar as we get close to budget. With the splash pad and that new handicap or a playground for all coming in, I'd like to see if we can't do something with our bathrooms out there. I think they're need a little love. And okay, yeah, I mean, okay, we're on the same page because we're going to get an influx of a lot of outside people, and I think it's time to really try to make that park sparkle and hit a home run. So thanks, Josh. And Josh, while we're on that, or Greg, the one Johnny, I know we're getting close to open the bathrooms, but the one Johnny in the bathroom by the bathrooms there is getting used heavy. Can we get a second one? Thank you. See, that's why you make the big bucks. And then Greg or Mayor, just food for thought on this one. With the new public works director, I would like to see that person on the P&Z board, if nothing else, as an advisory, because that's their time and their experience can really capture projects coming in, and we can kind of get proactive instead of reactive. A lot of cities do that. They will consult with their public works director, especially since he has a degree in engineering. That would be phenomenal. So we can kind of get ahead, and he can hit the ground running. And I would like to see that if possible, just even as an advisory role. And Brian, I get grouchy as I get older, and I know I've been watching a couple of cities real closely. And yes, it stinks, but I don't know what to do. A couple of cities have totally banned all fundraising. That does include begging. And I like to watch 2024 closely because they're already out. I've already got a couple of phone calls saying the one gentleman's getting very aggressive again. I'm hitting the point. I think it's time. If you don't get better next year, I just say we just do a 1-year run and just ban it. Just ban everything. No more fundraising like that. I mean, everybody uses Venmo, but a couple of cities have done it. I know, but I mean, think about this though. But it's begging though, or you can consider fundraising like the city of Carlton did, and they banned it. And there's no more. Like now, the fire department can't do MSD or nothing. There is no more.
I think to Greg and to the chief's point, yeah, it's when you get into the arena of regulating what people are saying, including asking for money, you're in the First Amendment arena, and that makes it very difficult to regulate. You can regulate conduct, and we do have ordinances in the books that prohibit walking along the roadway outside of the designated areas and the sidewalks. In terms of if you're talking about fundraising, you know, I think the reality is if you let one group fundraise in the roadway, you kind of have to let, yeah.
My question for you is this then, because every year we always vote to allow people to do fundraising. How can that not be their fundraising? How can that not be part of it?
That's something we can take a look at. Yeah, but I do think it's you have to, if you're going to do it, you kind of have to do it with no exceptions.
That's what I'm kind of mentioning. If we're going to continue to have problems and we kind of act like there's not a lot we can do, we got to do something. I mean, I just my opinion, because my phone just blows up during the summer and spring with them complaints. And then fire chief, I noticed we had the STARS program. My only concern is High Ridge is the participator that does that, and that's a half-hour drive. Is there any way you think we can do something on that? Because I mean, we've had 4 or 5 calls now just in our community, and that's critical time.
It's Project Lifesaver, and I reached out to Chief Barton of High Ridge, and it's actually the sheriff's department that heads it. He copied me into an email requesting what the Festus Fire Department needs to do to be part of that program, and I've not heard back from the sheriff's department yet, but we're looking at it. So yes, we can do it. I just don't know what steps we have to do to get into the program. And you're right, High Ridge has the, if you want to call it the detector or whatever currently, but we are working on avenues to see what it takes to get one on this side of the county.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Mayor, that's all I have, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Councilman Collier.
I just got a couple of things here. Mark, do you know the status of the old smokehouse tavern? I noticed they haven't been doing much work or anything lately.
Yeah, we actually had a couple letters out advising to the owners of the property that they had that dumpster there. They overfilled and dumped and emptied it on the parking lot. So it's actually, I'm not sure if Jim sent it to Brian yet on that note, but we're giving them a chance to get that cleaned up.
Okay, so you did approach them about cleaning it up. Okay.
Yeah, I've spoken to the actual proprietor hopefully a month ago, and he was still planning on going forward with it.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wanting to make sure we get that cleaned up because it's starting to really look pretty bad. The second thing I got is South Mill Street from A up to American Legion Drive. There's some blind spots where people's driveways are. And I was wondering if there's anything that we could do to possibly, whether it be mirrors or whatever, to where people coming out of their driveway can see if somebody's coming down the hill, or if somebody is on the main road coming down the hill or going up the hill, they could see them.
I apologize.
So
brought that up to
no, that's okay.
I forgot that, so I'll follow up.
Okay, so that's all I got then. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Councilwoman Templeton.
Well, I think everybody hit on anything that I had to say. So the blind spots was one, which isn't necessarily my word, but people ask about those questions because that's only going to get worse. Because now you're going to add more traffic coming down because the apartments are going up like crazy. And I guess my other would be a compliment to the park. I go to the park frequently, and there's not a space in that park where there is not a person when it's nice out. Down by the water, up on the main parts of it, and the only thing I ever hear from people is how clean it all is. So kudos to your staff for making sure that they're getting down there in the wooded area, because the cross country kids go down there as well. So it's just nice that it's all clean and people being able to use it. So that's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Vins.
Well, like she said, pretty much everything been said. Matt was working on a gate there by the fuel tanks. Is that still, when is
they're working on it today, weren't they? Yeah, crews were out there today.
Replacing it to put the,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just kind of curious. I knew that was coming, and but yeah, I went by that. Didn't really must have missed that one. All right, that's all I have.
All right, sir. Thank you. Yes. Josh, you're doing a good job out there at the park. It is being used, as we all know. I've gotten comments about the park. How pretty it is, the new walking path, how that works. I think we're all doing good. All of our departments are doing excellent work. You all are making excellent decisions. And I think we're continually heading in the right direction. The city administrator is doing his work to make sure that things stay on track. And I'm quite happy with the city. And here next month, I will start my 5th year. I'll complete my 5th year as mayor. 3 more to go. Having said that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.